Welcome back to India Diaries. This has been a dream of mine to have a very, very special guest on this show, and I think the universe conspired. He should have been my first episode of the Co-Indian, but that didn't happen. I want you to know at the very onset that you would have to do two things for me. You have to subscribe, of course, to this channel, India Diary by Anjali Uthup, and follow me on Instagram at India Diary by Anjali Uthup, and our email is indiadiary22@gmail.com. Okay, now here, let's start. This man has taken his life very seriously, though people don't think so. He's the first for many things. I've known him for nearly 30 years, and I know that when he started certain things, we were like, oh my God, where's it going to go? It just went places. I have somebody with me who started this fabulous place called Opus, and I'm sure all of you have one memory from there. Then, of course, Croak Nights, which gave birth to Croak Queens and Croak Kings, and of course, millions of other concerts. And then he moved on to being a live performer. And everything changed when COVID hit, like it did for all of us. But this guy was not going to be bothered about that. And he says, entertainment is my business and I don't care from where I do it. So for 100 days non-stop during the first wave of COVID in 2020, every house was invaded by this personality. You loved him, you hated him, but you could not ignore him. I would love to introduce to you my dearest friend and performer par excellence, Carlton Braganza.
Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why don't you and I combine? Let's get together, what do you say? We can have a swinging time. We'd be a crazy team. Why don't we make a scene together?
Let's get together.
Yes, let's get together. I'm so thrilled, Carlton, that, it's not every day that somebody like you gets to celebrate his golden year. 50 years, I just can't even believe it. 50 years, Carlton, it's been absolutely fantastic. And you've done such a lot of good work for all the musicians and all the singers, really. You've done 100 shows back to back online. You showed all of us the way. And though we've all done work like this, but not back to back and not quite the way you do it, you are just fantastic and really incomparable. Carlton, this is to tell you that we all really, really love you and wish you a very, very happy 50th. You wear your years so lightly. God bless you and give you lots and lots more good health so that you can carry on the good work. Thank you for the music, Carlton. Absolutely wonderful knowing you. And I'm so happy and really, really excited, super excited that you're on India Diary. Anjali's India Diary. Happy birthday to the golden man.
Hey, Carlton.
Thank you. Wow. I'm gobsmacked.
Finally.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And we've been talking about this forever and ever.
Yes.
But finally it's happened. I was here and I'm here.
And you're here. I can't tell you, Carlton, it's just been a dream of mine to have you on this show because you really are the soul and genius of an Indian anywhere in the world.
Wow.
And I need to start first, of course, not from the very beginning, but somewhere recent.
Okay.
And that what motivated you to sing for 100 days non-stop during COVID?
I've told this story many, many, many times and I'm not tired of telling it. But it really started out as a joke. I mean, it was something that I found myself stuck in my bedroom with Modi having announced a Janta curfew. And I thought it would last for a week or so. At best, so I went online that night and I said, I'm gonna go and entertain you people. If anybody is online, come on at 9:30 and listen in and throw some requests and I'll do that for you. So it was really a very rudimentary thing out of Bluetooth speaker, and I did a couple of songs, was trying to figure out whether I could be heard, whether I could be seen. I was looking at the screen very, very dawkishly, and but there were people who came in and said, oh, this is a great idea, why don't you continue doing it? And in a couple of days, I mean, this community started growing, and what was exciting about it was not just the music. It was just friends reconnecting with other
Yes.
friends. It was families across continents. It was people who were kind of and that motivated me also to keep it going, to keep fine tuning it. There were people who put their hands up and said, we'll help you with sound, we'll help you with tech, and it was literally community living at its best. When people were in different houses and couldn't leave their houses, it showed a sense of community that was worth talking about. And so that continued, and I had gone on and said and shot my mouth off and said, till I can leave the bedroom, I will do this every night, and not knowing how long it was going to last.
Yes.
It kind of went from lockdown 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0.
It just went
it
on and
yeah,
on
it just
and
went
on.
and they held me to it and said, you said that you would continue doing it till you can leave. And I always maintained that I would keep going as long as one of these three things got fulfilled. One was the show kind of became more exciting, became better in terms of production, in terms of
Yeah.
people that came on. The numbers of the people listening would not
Huge.
drop. Yeah, three is I wouldn't get bored. So all three were kind of fulfilled, and I had something to do. I had people in my bedroom every night having a drink with me. So it kind of it just went on.
Just went on.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, actually, Carlton started going on Facebook Live right through.
Yeah.
And there were people who we met as families. Suddenly you'd see someone coming on the chat. It was so exciting. I think friends we had never bothered about, or rather we didn't have the time because we'd all been busy in our own lives. And then suddenly Carlton went on YouTube Live as well, and on Instagram, and there was Carlton trying to see everybody's messages.
Oh, it
And
was
there was this
crazy.
hankering
No,
that,
it was
hey
crazy.
Carlton, you didn't say hi to me. Carlton, you
No,
didn't
it
say
was
hi to
crazy.
me.
I mean, at one point in time, we had like 1,500 people on a Facebook Live, and the comment section was just flying.
Oh,
and,
God.
And I had about 6 windows in front of me, and I was juggling, singing, talking to people, and the tech and the sound, and it was just me. So somebody once told me, he said, I mean, what you do, I mean, I don't think 6 people can do, because there's so much that's happening. And that was exciting for me, because I kind of had so much to do it,
And you learned so
and
much
I
from
learned
it.
so much. It was a big learning curve, and so that and that's what happened, and it just took off from something that I thought it was a joke, and it just took off into a different kind of dimension. Yeah.
So let's talk about the other dimension. Okay, being a live performer, you've got so many gigs. I remember you were in Cochin just before the lockdown happened. We were working
fact,
together
yeah.
for the 2-3 shows and 2-3
In fact,
nights.
very weird, because just day before, I'm back in Cochin after 2 years.
Yes.
And the last venue that I actually did something was at the Bulgari.
Yeah.
At the
Hyatt.
At the Hyatt. Very different scenario. I mean, that one was 5,000 people, and this
Yes,
one,
I remember.
This one was a small engagement for about 100 people. But I'm saying it was so good to be back in this town.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's a town that I had kind of made
Your home.
pretty much my home. I'd stopped going to Goa. In fact, those 2 years that I was coming in and out of Cochin, it was.
Yes.
It was. It was.
So when you
was
come
great.
in and out of Cochin and you're doing live shows and you're staying somewhere, I have to tell you that the moolah comes in. So the reality of musicians were that they were hit, I suppose, the hardest because they couldn't go anywhere. Carlton, financially, how did you manage?
So with no disrespect to anybody, I mean, I've had probably the best 2 years. There are a couple of things that I did subconsciously, or maybe without thinking too much, but just did. Like, one was just go online and do this.
Yeah.
Couple of weeks into the gig, and I call up Kingfisher. I mean, so they were old partners
Who
that
you
I have
worked with, yes.
Yeah. Called them up and said, nothing's happening. Why don't you come on as a partner, as a sleeping partner in my bedroom, and we do this we do this together, and they said, we can't afford you, you're doing a gig every night. So I said, tell me what we can do for the month, and I said, whatever works for you. I mean, anyways, there's nothing, everyone's drinking at home, so this is a great
Deal,
way
yeah.
to do something. So things like that kind of worked out, and then your Cochin or Kerala, Paul John came on board with the whiskey and with Fireball, and they it was things that, and then people started doing private. I mean, not private, but they thought that they could host their birthday parties and their
Yes.
anniversaries and stuff like that.
I think
online.
you had,
And-
I remember you
and-
had parties in Australia, you
Yeah,
had
yeah.
ones in
Yeah,
Bandra, you
yeah,
had
yeah.
one in Singapore,
So
you had it
just
all.
became absolutely region and venue agnostic. You could have a party sitting anywhere in the world, and it became something really. I mean, it just it changed the whole dynamic of
Yes.
having. And I told people. I mean, I said it's as exciting. I mean, you can't say as exciting, but it's as exciting as a live gig, because these comments, you're getting feedback, you're
Oh, yeah.
interacting with an audience. You are, and artists told me that we need a live audience in front of us, and you can't. That energy is not. But when you see a screen flying with comments,
Oh my God, it's the
crazy.
energy is
It's as crazy. I mean, and
yeah.
if you just reorient your thinking,
You just have to reset
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
So, are
reorient-
there any particular sponsors that you would really like to say thank you to?
I would like to say thanks definitely to Kingfisher, to Paul John, to Fireball, to John brought a tea company, Ripple Tea.
Yes,
That
with
was-
Abbas, that's
yeah,
right.
and that was
Tata Tea.
thank you, yeah, and that we did something with Amma as well.
Yes.
And then there were individual sponsors. I think Desiree was a big one. That,
Oh, yes.
That needs mention. Otherwise, there were people who and I did I did something. I started something called this whole donut thing, which
Donuts and stars,
yeah,
right?
donuts and stars, because people try to figure out how to
Help.
keep me going, and all I said was, we've come to a time where it's actually a lot of the whole old barter system kind of is
Yeah,
coming
literally.
back. I sing for you, and people started sending me food, they started sending me cakes, they started sending me different things. I mean, literally, I had food stacked up in my fridge for weeks.
Also, I believe a couple of
Yeah.
notes saying, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Because I think you asked for that when you said, "Oh, come and stay with me and celebrate with me in my bedroom." I think a lot of girls took it seriously.
I'm not joking. There were elderly people who used to go for a walk in the morning, and and they knocked on my door once, and they had cooked stuff, and all they wanted was to take a photograph of my bed, and it was so fun. They said, "Come sit here and we'll take a photograph," and it was really, I don't know. Now when I go to Goa and walk into a space where somebody recognizes you, you just realize, how many people you've
Oh
kind of
my God!
touched. It's really weird. I mean, I walked into in the Fontaniers part of Goa. I was walking there, and it was a very cute house, and on TripAdvisor I saw some big signs on the board, and I walked in and had my mask on, and the guy looked at me and says, "Are you Carlton?" And I was like, "How?" So he shows me his phone and he says, "I'm watching you right now." So I was like, "Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy." I mean, you
No,
just
so
don't-
it is so
yeah.
true, because I mean, I've seen this with my mother, and for those of you who still not figured it out, my mother is Usha Uthup. So
that's
no, because I'm just saying, suppose, I'm just saying. So we used to be visiting hospitals quite a few times when my brother was not well, and she'd be wearing a mask, and people would say Didi, and I'm like, how the hell
Actually,
does
she
this
has the
happen?
bindi.
Yeah, she has the bindi. Sometimes even without the bindi, this would happen. And of
Bindi
course,
is
with
the correct type.
I have to talk to you about how I got a forward of you singing with another girl, and it was Kaisi E Paheli, and says, "Do you know this person?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is Carlton. This is my friend." And when I said I want to have Carlton on my show, people are like, "You know Carlton Braganza?" I said, "Do I know Carlton Braganza?"
This is the really funny one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really. So
yeah.
tell us about this whole thing about
No,
Kaisi E
it's,
Paheli.
it's Meghna, this friend of mine who's a fantastic singer.
Absolutely.
She's actually a classical Odissi dancer, and we did this song. I mean, I think it was a corporate gig, that we cut that song out of
Yes.
and put it up. But she and me have both got so many forwards of the same song, from my brother's management school groups to her, and really random cross section of people who've sent that song to us. And it's really funny because every time we get it, we'll forward it to each other and start laughing about it.
Come on, I want to see you dancing wherever you are.
There's this other angle of Carlton, which is extremely serious. And you'll see him jumping on top of a speaker and probably doing a pole dance on the closest pole or the light setting that he has put up. But he also sings beautifully at church. I don't know about you, but I have goosebumps. Oh my God, I can't believe this monkey can be serious also. Hey Carlton, how do you manage on one side singing Shalalala and jumping around and then Ave Maria the way you did?
So this is the problem. I mean, I've always lived by a Robert Heinlein quote that said that, a man should be able to do many things, should be able to con a ship, butcher a hog, cook a meal, and at the bottom he says specialization is for insects.
I love that.
No, it's a quote that I take everywhere. I mean, whether it's different genres of music or whether it is, I can't be stuck doing one thing. I can't be talking about music. I can't be stuck only with music. So I'm a bit of a photographer, writer. Caricature.
Also, you may not take yourself seriously, people may not take you seriously, but you take music very seriously.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing that we all got so much to see and hear on his Jukebox Jammies night after night, because there were some new talents, and then there were people like my mother and other people who came onto the show, lent their voices.
से आंखें चार करने दो, रुकना रुकना मुझको प्यार करने दो। डार्लिंग आंखों से आंखें चार करने दो, रुकना रुकना मुझको प्यार करने दो। प्यार करने दो, रुकना रुकना मुझको प्यार करने दो। कैसे बहारा पीछे जाने यारा, तो भी इंतजार करने दो। डार्लिंग आंखों से आंखें चार करने दो। दिन को दिल पे तो इख्तियार करने दो डार्लिंग आँखों से आँखें चार करने दो रुको ना मुझको प्यार करने दो
My darling.
पब्लिक में सनसनी इकरार करने दो डार्लिंग आँखों से आँखें चार करने दो रुकना मुझको प्यार करने दो दिल कहता है बहारा दिल चैन जाने यारा बिल्कुल तो अभी इंतजार करने दो डार्लिंग आँखों से आँखें चार करने दो डार्लिंग आँखों से आँखें चार करने दो
Darling.
Carlton, music is your business. And do you ever feel insecure that you had people on your show who sang so beautifully? Were you compared or you didn't care about it?
I probably am delusional when I think that nobody is as good as I am. But
I love that. I am so happy to hear that, Carlton. God bless.
no, but I mean, I never feel threatened in any space, whether it be, I don't know, which is why I was saying this. I mean, whether it be jazz or country or blues or opera or whatever. I mean, I think I do what I do in my own way, and no two artists are the same. And as long as you don't feel threatened by somebody else, I guess you're in a good space. And I love to collaborate with different people, and which is why I don't have like a fixed set or a fixed band that I play with all the time. I base who I'm doing a gig with based on the event. If they want a certain kind of music, I'll pick a certain person with me. So it's something that I kind of I love to do, because every set is kind of different. It's with a new person. It's new energies. It's great to be that way. So I like that.
Yeah, that's so fabulous. And I think that's one thing that I would definitely, and I have taken out of Carlton's book, and I've taken out of my mother's book, and many other people that I've been inspired by, is that not to be threatened. You've always believed in a community.
Yeah.
Now, where does this sense of community start for you?
Bandra.
It did start there.
Yeah, I mean, see, when you're and this time, I mean, we did a couple of gigs in Bandra, and Abhijit was with me, and he was like, you know, when he left, he was like, now I understand this Bandra that you guys keep talking about. It's not something you can explain to somebody.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling. It's walking on the street where everybody knows everybody, and even still, I mean, you can, everyone's house is an open house. It's that old. I don't know. Goa has it as well, but Bandra community, and we were living in a cooperative housing society, which was predominantly Catholic dominated. There was music coming out of every window.
And I think the church
food
and
smells
everything.
coming out of every window. The church is there. You're singing with you learn to sing with others. You learn harmonies. You learn. So I'm saying that whole community thing got really intensified with Jukebox Jammies.
Yes, friends are the most important things in the world, yes. And I think Carlton has made that so possible for so many people who've been connecting through his Jukebox Jammies. But actually, it all started many, many years ago in Bangalore, when suddenly somebody said, come on, we have to go to Opus, your mother is singing there. So, Carlton, how did Opus start? How did you have the guts to come in as a standalone, I think 25 years ago maybe? At a time, okay, so 20 years ago, where you were pitted against pubs and clubs and five-star hotels and private parties.
Must give Gina credit here. I mean, and she was more the guts. I was
The glory.
Yeah, I was the glory. Yeah, but no, but she kind of was fearless. I mean, there was no territory that she would get intimidated by, and so I guess this happened also because we were kind of in the events business. We wanted to do something as a passion project. Yeah, it started off like, and I conversely would joke and say that it's just an extension of your dining room because everybody came there, had a great time. Half of them never paid their bills, so it was a
Yeah, we know
those
that.
initial days were amazing. I mean, it was the start of a very cultish community even back then, and
And for those of you who probably have never seen Opus, my first memory is walking into Opus and seeing these ledges, which was either your
Yeah.
table or your seat. And then there was this thatched roof under
Yeah.
which there was a board and there was a music system, and
Oh,
you
wow.
just came in and plugged and played.
maybe I'll dig out some pictures.
Yes,
of that.
and then when the lights went off, those were the first days I ever saw candles being used. It was just mesmerizing. It was something like I have never seen. And
So
because
we
of
did
that,
something
we
like-
need
yeah,
to
we
talk
did.
about the guts in his life. And
Yeah.
that is Gina.
Yeah.
Gina is Carlton's wife, and I still say Carlton's wife, is still Carlton's wife because she always will be. She's in another place looking down upon us and laughing and smiling.
This one's for you. Like a comet blazing across the evening sky, gone too soon. Like a rainbow fading in the twinkling of an eye, gone too soon. Shining and sparkling, splendidly bright, here one day, gone one night. Like a loss of sunlight on a cloudy afternoon, gone too soon. Like a castle built upon a sandy beach, gone too soon. Like a perfect flower that is just beyond your reach, gone too soon. To amuse, to inspire, to delight, here one day, gone one night. Like a sunset dying with the rising of the moon, gone too soon. Gone too soon.
I mean, we are very different people, but we kind of complemented each other. The arrangement was very clear I used to say, I'll do whatever it takes to get people into Opus, and once they're here, you take care of them.
Okay.
So whether it be creatives, whether it be photographs or mailers or acts on stage or whatever else was my thing, and she took care of all the rubbish, the food and the logistics and the security and the police and all of that. Yeah, and she was a demure sort, but she got away with pretty much all the authorities as well. So yeah, recently I met some income tax or sales tax guy at an event, and he was almost tearing up and said, I miss Gina. I had never even known or heard of him. He said, she was like my sister. Yeah, so I guess she touched a lot of people.
Yeah, they say, the biggest things come in the smallest packages. And Gina was that. She was demure, she was petite, but she was larger than life. Was it tough for you to move on after her in the business?
Yeah, I mean, she went a little haywire the year before she kind of went. We opened Pune. We had a hotel. It was called Hotel. We had a radio station. We had 2 opuses in Bangalore, and then she and me, who was one who was resisting this expansion, was landed with all of it, and so in those initial days I was obviously floundering a lot because but I slowly started pulling back on a few of them. But Opus had some really good years. I mean, 2009 to 2013, 14,
Were fabulous.
even after she passed, was really some of our biggest years. But then I kind of, F&B is not an easy business.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, and especially running an F&B outlet in Bangalore is not. I just found me not having that much fun. I was wearing 2 hats, which I didn't really care for the other one. So I moved away and kind of started doing a lot more curation, a lot of
So where is Opus now? What is happening with Opus and all the other stuff that she started?
So Opus, actually there was a partner who had actually started a big one, a big nightclub in another part of Bangalore called Sajapu. They had loaned the name from me. Opus, the brand name, still belongs to me. Can do whatever I want with it, but as of now I kind of use it, and I say that Opus is more a state of mind than an actually physical space, and I use it. I use the online presence now. I live stream from the Opus pages and stuff like that. But Opus, as of now, till I find somebody who can actually take that F&B piece off my plate and say, okay, I'll run it, and I'm okay to open it, but I don't want to get back to handling that piece.
Space.
Yeah. So entertainment, curation, gigging, putting things together for an event, that's fine. I mean, that's what I do right now. And for me, it comes very naturally. I make a holiday out of it.
Yes, we know.
I'm here today for lunch.
But you do believe that if something is really troubling you and is taking away from your creativity, you need to just drop it.
You need to drop it. You need to take a call at till what point you can actually go with it.
Yeah.
And then just cut your losses. I mean, it's something that it's not easy, especially when you're sitting on a 20-year-old legacy, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. But you have to take that call and do what makes you happy, I guess.
Do you know that you have started a legacy? Are you aware of it? That you were actually the first online performer during COVID. And because of you and because of you introducing so many, there were many others who came on as well.
Yeah,
Did you feel any animosity towards you?
Not really. Actually, every one of those online performers at some point or the other collaborated, and I got them on, and we did stuff together and stuff like that. And as I said, I mean, everyone did this thing in their own space and did it alone and whatever. I was the one who tried to, bring in different people.
No, you did bring in different people, but I'm saying is that this seed, I don't know about the rest of the world. My world was in the palm of my hand, which was my phone or my computer. And for us, Carlton was coming live, and suddenly you started getting Facebook notifications, Instagram notifications that you were coming live. I know Carlton is that kind of guy. He'd just come off stage and somebody said, you sang superb or you're fabulous. He's like, yeah, okay, where's my drink? That's all he wanted to. But you really need to know that you were the first. You were the pioneer in India. I have to let you know this. I've done my research.
Yeah, I was.
And I went online.
Because I went online the first day.
You went online the first day. You were the only person who did it for 100 days continuously.
Let's rock on with the one and only Carlton Braganza. What a show!
I got my mojo working.
Carlton Braganza, I am a huge fan. So are my children.
Welcome to my home here in London. Every day I use my pulpit to bring hope, and you do the same, except you do it from your bedroom.
Hello Carlton, how are you? I heard that you're doing fun sessions every night, so I want you to play a song.
I know they love you. And thank you, Carlton, for doing this.
Carlton, I think you really epitomize that. Good to great. Keep on shining, brother.
So here we go.
Carlton is this mad guy who's done so much good stuff in this lockdown by bringing so much joy to people with his new show.
The music, I guess, Jukebox, Jammies will bring back lots of great memories.
Memories bring back you. Every month around nowadays they are talking about Carlton, Carlton. Whole days coming on my ears, my nose, everything.
What a wonderful world. Better to hang the Carlton, listen to what he does every single night, entertaining Carlton. It's really, really special.
The best show in town. It's run by this bubble, Carlton. Like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease.
आँखों से आँखें चार करने दो.
Yeah, yeah, my, yeah, 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 my, yeah, 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 my, yeah, 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 my, yeah, yeah.
Enjoy this show. I'm sure it's going to be fun. God bless you all.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison.
Thank you, Carlton. And hope to see you over there one day. Cheers.
Mama, I could never let you go.
And it is my way.
Now, Carlton, don't do ha ha ha. You have to sing for your supper. So I hope you know you're going to be singing for me right now. You can't just give me an order saying I want food and all of that. You have to sing for it. I mean, that's your job.
I have
So what
to
you
sing for
go-
your husband who's organized food for me.
That's okay. You can sing for him later. But before that, you need to sing for me.
Yeah, say what you want.
No. I want you to sing one of your most favorite songs.
I did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spat it out. I faced it all, sing with me, and I stood tall